These are results of faith.
My name is Ivana Jack. I am a program director and I am 29 years old. My life was completely destroyed, and this destruction started when I was just a child, when my innocence was taken away from me from a family friend. And this problem created a lot of insecurities within me. I felt devalued, I didn't appreciate myself, and that caused a lot of problems in my love life. Because of that, I looked at relationships for attention. I was abandoned, I would say, as a child. More so, that's what it felt like, because my parents migrated to the US in search of a better life and left me behind with family. So I felt alone. The only place that I was able to receive attention was from the guys. My first boyfriend I was 13 years of age, and it went on from there. The worst moment, I would say, of my life is when I met a guy at a party. He got into an altercation with someone at a party, and that person followed us and opened fire in a car, and I was shot. And that was the worst moment of my life. I literally was at death's door. That guy today is now dead. After that encounter, I began to realize that I was dating a gang member, which I had no clue about. I was suicidal. I thought about, ending my life because I was so desperate, really, really desperate and hopeless. And I just needed help and a way out. I was just walking the streets that Friday afternoon, aimless, with nowhere to go. And I passed by the church and someone was outside giving out flyers, and that's how I heard about this ministry. They were having an event. It was a Showdown of Faith event they were having later on that evening. When I came to the event, I felt different for the first time, and I started making a chain of prayer because now I had a little more understanding about the work, the church, the chains of prayer. So I made a chain of prayer for myself, for my spiritual life, first, for some of the problems that I had in my finances and with my family. So the days that I attended the church was on Wednesdays, Thursdays for my family. I did Fridays for my deliverance because I needed to be delivered from these suicidal thoughts, the generational curses, and some of the pain that I felt from the past. So I came those days and I made my chain of prayer, and I began to see a difference in myself. Every time I would come to the church, I would come one way and I would leave different. So I continued coming and I continued making the chains of prayer, especially for my deliverance and also to receive the Holy Spirit, because I began to understand that the Holy Spirit was a necessity and it was very important, and I needed the Holy Spirit to overcome many of the problems that I was faced with. I would learn about the Holy Spirit every meeting that I go to. It always ended with a message about the Holy Spirit and the importance of having the Holy Spirit and the guarantee of salvation when you receive the Holy Spirit. So every meeting I attended, I always heard about this Holy Spirit, and I wanted to receive that Holy Spirit I always heard the pastors speaking about. I prepared myself leading up to that Sunday. And I had a big problem actually. That early Sunday morning, I was told that my son got into a really bad accident that day. And as a mom, I wanted to be there with him in that moment, that Sunday morning, because he was in another state and I was in another state, and I wanted to be there with him. But I prioritized, I prayed, I put him in God's hands, but I prioritized the Holy Spirit that Sunday morning. I didn't let anything, not even my son being in a life-threatening car accident, hinder me from going to the church to receive the Holy Spirit. And that Sunday morning, during the moment of the seeking of the Holy Spirit, is when I received that peace, that joy, that assurance that God is with me. And that's when I received the Holy Spirit. So since that day that I received the Holy Spirit, the Ivana from before, she no longer exists. I am more happy inside. I give value to myself. I don't need to seek value from anything or no one. I'm at peace. Everywhere that I go, people want to be close to me because I'm always happy, I'm at peace, you know. But the most important thing I would say is that I have a love for people that's suffering, right? I can't, walk the street and see people, in need or suffering, just that love for souls. And these were just some of the transformations that I have seen in my life since I received the Holy Spirit.